Welcome back to Iraqi Dinar Updates, where we keep you informed on the latest developments that could impact the Iraqi economy, regional stability, and of course, the future of the Iraqi dinar. Today, we're covering a massive and fast-moving story that is gripping the attention of the entire Middle East and indeed, the world. In a shocking turn of events, Israeli aircraft have reportedly launched a series of sweeping strikes targeting strategic sites in and around Iran, the capital of Iran. The sound of explosions has been confirmed by multiple witnesses in the area, while early footage circulating online shows flames rising from what appear to be high-value military and government installations. Although full details are still emerging, initial reports suggest this was a well-coordinated, large-scale operation executed with precision. Sources from within Israel have not officially confirmed all aspects of the mission, but early intelligence hints that this may have been in response to recent escalations from Iran, including support for proxy groups in Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, and Gaza. As tensions between Israel and Iran have been building for years, this sudden military strike could mark a turning point in an already volatile region. Some analysts are calling it one of the most significant military actions in the Middle East since the U.S. invasion of Iraq in 2003. Now, you might be wondering, how does this affect Iraq, and what could it mean for the Iraqi dinar? That's exactly what we're going to explore here today, because these geopolitical shocks often ripple across borders and affect economies, currencies, and markets in unpredictable ways. The Middle East is an interconnected web of political alliances, military entanglements, and economic dependencies, and Iraq sits right in the heart of it all. Let's start with the immediate impact. Any escalation between Israel and Iran tends to pull in Iraq indirectly, due to Iran's deep influence in the country. Iran supports numerous militias and political factions inside Iraq, including powerful armed groups under the umbrella of the Popular Mobilization Forces. If Iran decides to retaliate with the Israeli strike, there's a strong chance that Iraq could become one of the battlegrounds, not through official government involvement, but via Iranian-backed militias launching attacks on U.S. interests or Israeli targets inside Iraq. This creates a precarious situation for the Iraqi government, which is already walking a tightrope between appeasing Western allies and maintaining a manageable relationship with Iran. If Iraq is seen as a staging ground for Iranian retaliation, or if its territory becomes part of the battlefield, international investors and currency watchers are going to react swiftly. One thing we know for certain, markets hate uncertainty. And right now, uncertainty is spreading fast. From a currency standpoint, this kind of regional instability usually weakens local currencies unless they're backed by significant reserves or stable political leadership. The Iraqi dinar, while relatively stable in recent months due to tight control by the central bank and growing oil revenues, is still vulnerable to external shocks. If conflict spreads, or if Iraqi infrastructure or oil exports are threatened, we could see pressure mount on the dinar. At the same time, some dinar watchers, especially the so-called Dinar Gurus, have pointed out that major geopolitical events often precede or even catalyze financial system resets. There's a theory among some in the dinar community that rising global tension might push Iraq to reassert its economic sovereignty by moving toward de-dollarization or introducing a more globally traded version of the dinar. While this theory is speculative, we can't ignore the fact that Iraq has recently made moves to conduct trade with China and Russia in local currencies, and there's increasing pressure within Iraq to reduce dependence on the US dollar. However, a military escalation between Israel and Iran might not help Iraq's immediate prospects for revaluation or economic reform. In fact, it could do the opposite in the short term. Foreign investors who are starting to look at Iraq again, especially after the relative calm of 2023 and the uptick in oil revenue, may now step back and wait. Even regional partners like Jordan and the Gulf states may put certain economic deals on hold until there's a clearer picture of what's happening between Israel and Iran. But let's not lose sight of Iraq's long-term potential. The country still sits on one of the largest oil reserves in the world. Its population is young, resourceful, and ready to rebuild. If this crisis can be contained quickly and Iraq can stay out of direct involvement, the country could still emerge as a stabilizing force in the region. In fact, Baghdad has recently tried to position itself as a neutral ground for mediation between Saudi Arabia and Iran. Whether that effort can continue in light of these new strikes remains to be seen. Another angle to consider is the role of the United States. U.S. troops are still present in Iraq in an advisory capacity, and American policymakers will be watching developments closely. If Israel's strikes lead to a broader war, the U.S. might step in more assertively, either diplomatically or militarily. That too could impact Iraq. The last thing Iraq needs is to become a proxy battlefield once again, just when it's starting to find some balance. To the average Iraqi citizen, the concern is simple: stability. People want to go to work, send their kids to school, buy goods without inflation eating away at their income, and live without fear of war. And to investors and dinar holders around the world, what matters is whether Iraq can maintain or increase the value of its currency through responsible governance, strong oil production, and international cooperation. Right now, all eyes are on Iran, but the aftershocks will be felt in Baghdad and beyond. The next few days and weeks will be critical. Will Iran retaliate with force, or will back-channel diplomacy calm things down? Will Iraq be dragged into the conflict or manage to stay neutral? And most importantly for our community, will the Iraqi dinar be shaken, or will it prove more resilient than many expect? That's where we leave it for now, but trust me, we are watching this situation very closely. We'll be updating you with the latest from the Dinar Gurus, from regional analysts, and from Iraqi officials themselves as the situation develops. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and stay with us here at Iraqi Dinar Updates as we continue to bring you the real story behind the headlines. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video.